Hey friends, today I will explain to you a action comedy film called The Shaolin Boy. The movie starts with a Lee, 6-year-old monk studying in the Shaolin Monastery. He has stayed in the monastery and trained in martial arts his whole life. One day, Lee strolls into the monastery and apologizes to his seniors for what he is about to do. He has to showcase his skills by fighting them. Without him releasing, a monk strikes him from the side. Lee instantly dodges, even though the attack took him by surprise. The monk organizes to throw Lee to the wall, but he bounces right back and continues to fight. He showers the monk with numerous kicks midair, displaying his skills. Moments later, the first monk is defeated when Lee restrains him with a woven bamboo basket. Subsequent that, he is attacked by the second monk armed with swords. Lee manages to disarm his opponent, leaving him with no option but to accept defeat. Then, he approaches the third and last monk. Even when meditating, the monk senses Lee coming towards him and uses a prayer bead to faultlessly hit the mirror in a way that blinds Lee. Then, in less than a second, the kid is picked up and thrown to the ground. The monk is about to success with the last blow, but Lee slides away and kicks him in the chest. The two battle, and in the climax, Lee wins again. He bows to the shrine and walks outside while his opponents bow to him as a sign of respect. The head monk says Lee that he scored 88 out of 100 in the test, which is better than most students his age. Lee is about to go to a new school in the city as an exchange student. During his stay there, he is presumed to live with a family of 3, fathered by a great scientist who is close to the head monk. After wishing farewell, the kid leaves for the city, excited to meet new people. In the attending scene, we are introduced to 15-year-old Feng, the chief of the Taekwondo club in his school. He has a fourth greater sister, Shanshan, who always cheers for her older brother and loves him dearly. The administrator of the school Taekwondo club is Lan. She analyzes Feng's matches and gives him a summary of what he could have done better. Lan also seems to have a crush on him but denies it when asked. Lan's brother Yu is a glutton who loves to eat more than anything in the nation. The 4 of them live in the same neighborhood and are pretty close to each other. One afternoon, Lan is analyzing the last day's Taekwondo matches always while her brother Yu binges on chips and snacks. The siblings' dad is a scientist named Dr. Han. Their mother died a few years ago, after which Dr. Han has indulged himself in his work. He is working on a unique device that a group of gangsters is interested in. Dr. Han calls the kids to ask them how they are doing. Lan is annoyed because her father is never home with them. Dr. Han promises to return back as soon as possible and says them to open a gift box that he has just sent to the house. In reality, the box contains the special device he has created that the gang is after. As they are chatting, Lee knocks on their door and is received by Lan. She gets busy welcoming him and doesn't notice that her father is being abducted on the other side of the video call. The leader of the gang, Larry, threatens Dr. Han to hand them the crucial device. Dr. Han, on the other hand, claims that there is no such device. What he has been working on is an AI technology that will allow his kids to chat to an AI with their mother's voice. The leader doesn't believe him and holds him hostage. On checking the CCTV camera footage, he finds out that the equipment has been shipped to his home and received by his children. 2 of Larry's henchmen, Sloppy and Fist, volunteer to retrieve the device no matter what. Until they get hold of it, Dr. Han will be kept hostage. Sloppy and Fist are excited because this is their first job as gangsters. They dress up in eccentric costume as a disguise and arrive in front of Lan's house. Sloppy tries to barge in when it gets dark, but Fist suggests they wait until the kids leave for school the following day. Meanwhile, Lee is getting accustomed to the new environment. He sees Lan watching a Taekwondo match on TV and is captivated by the sport. Later, he attempts to do his daily nighttime meditation while he plays a video game. Both of them disturb each other and find it hard to live together. But soon, they play the video game jointly and bond over it. In her room, Lan opens that box sent by her dad and sees a panda keychain inside. What she doesn't know is that it also holds a pen drive that the gang is looking for. On pressing a button, the panda asks Lan to set a voice-activated password. She exclaims what password, which is set as the new password without her knowing. On testing it further, she understands that the panda is an AI that has their mother's voice. The following morning, Lee gets ready for his first day of school, alongside Yu and Lan. Sloppy and Fist watch them from inside their car, planning to break in right after they are out of sight. But just then, Sloppy notices that Lan has hung the panda keychain in her bag. They change plans and decide to steal it from her. On the way to school, the group meets Feng and his sister Shanshan. Lan introduces him to Lee. As they're chatting, Sloppy swiftly snatches the keyring and walks away. Lee notices this and does a high jump and several backflips to get to him. Feng is impressed to see that he is an experienced fighter. They both beat him up and get the panda, but Sloppy doesn't give up. He snatches it yet again, not learning his lesson from the first time. The kids soon surround him and trap him inside a garbage bin before shoving him down the road. In the school, Lee is inaugurated to his classmates, who are amazed to see a child monk for the first time. They ask him questions like if he can ever get wedding and if he knows kung fu. The teacher quiets them down and asks them to wait for the gym period to see his kung fu skills. During the gym class, the coach informs them of a fitness test that will be held following month. The ones who do not pass the test will have to repeat the class following year as well. Yu is worried because he is out of shape and can barely walk properly. Their first task is to run 100 meters. A trained Lee completes 2 laps before his classmates can complete even 1. Following, they are asked to do push-ups, one of many specialties that Lee has. He does more than 100 while the other kids can hardly do 2. To show his true abilities, he even does push-ups with a single hand and then with his body vertical. Everyone cheers and praises him. Then, it is time for them to do high jumps. Elementary school high jumps are a piece of cake for Lee. Nonetheless, he struggles and falls face down on the platform. Back in Dr. Han's lab, the gangster Larry has tied him to a chair and is hitting him with golf balls. To keep himself entertained, Dr. Han teaches him new techniques at his own expense. At night, Sloppy and Fist break into the house looking for the panda. Lee glimpses them and hides behind a stuffed toy to scare them. He troubles the rookie gangsters, but they soon see him and try to fight him. When Lan comes downstairs, the gangsters grab the panda and run away. Lee tells them what transpired, but the siblings think he is joking. In the attending scene, Sloppy and Fist are at the lab with golf balls in their mouths. It turns out that they accidentally stole a panda humidifier instead of the special device. Larry has to sell the said equipment to his clients in 3 days, which makes him impatient. He uses Fist and Sloppy as golf tees to threaten them to complete the task quicker. The attending day after school, the group is watching Feng fight against an opponent. Yu and Shanshan are talking about 2 ugly girls in the back of the bleacher. It turns out that the said girls are Sloppy and Fist in disguise. They eye the panda on Lan's bag and wait for the right time to retrieve it. Just then, Lee challenges Feng to a match and everyone goes to the front to watch it. Rear them, the thugs try to take off the panda from the bag, but their wig gets stuck, making them struggle. As the intense fight continues, we see that Feng and Lee match in skills. It ends unexpectedly when both the participants refuse to hit each other. Just then, everyone turns around and sees Sloppy and Fist in their schoolgirl dresses. The kids attack the gangsters, but the 2 manage to flee with the panda after taking a girl hostage. The students go to the principal and call the police, who promise to do their best to discover them. Lee blames himself for what transpired because if he hadn't challenged Feng to a fight, Lan wouldn't be distracted. The rest of the group makes him understand that they do not blame him. Larry eventually gets the Panda and uses the pen drive inside it to open a program on a computer. Nonetheless, it requires a password to be accessed. Larry asks Dr. Han what the password is, but he refuses to tell them. A couple of programmers try to break the code, but even after attempting for an entire day, they are not successful. By the end of it, Larry starts to lose his mind and has a mental breakdown. Then, he sees Lan's message on Dr. Han's phone and decides to use her to blackmail him. Lan has asked her dad to come to her birthday tomorrow. Larry replies as Dr. Han and claims that he will be there on time. The following evening, Lan and her friends gather at her house for the birthday party. Meanwhile, Feng, Yu Li, and Shanshan have gone to the market to get her presents. Lan gets a message from her father saying that he is outside. Nonetheless, on going out to check, she is abducted and put inside a van. At the same moment, Li and the group spot her and follow the van on their bicycles. They reach Dr. Han's lab and start looking for her. Larry and his business partner are under stress because they were presumed to close the deal yesterday. To make the process quicker, Larry puts a knife to Lan's face and asks her about the password. She in turn inquires what password, and it opens the program on the computer. Outside, Sloppy and Fist are guarding the place. Li and Feng attack them and knock them out in no time. Nonetheless, they are soon confronted by Larry's right-hand man, Bradley. He is a fighter, hence they struggle to defeat him even when teamed up. Inside the lab, Larry and his partner are about to seal the deal, but just then, Yu arrives and intimately frees his sister and father. Li also comes to their aid and helps them fight the gangsters. Amidst the chaos, Larry gets a grip of the suitcase with the pen drive and runs outside. He is stopped by Dr. Han, Yu, and Lan, who beat him up. In the meantime, Li joins Feng again to fight against Bradley. Initially, they struggle, but they ultimately manage to defeat him. At final, the police arrive at the event and save the day. In the terminating scene, we see the school's principal award Li and Yu for their heroism. And the end. If you are a lover of similar content like this, take a look at my various videos, and if you love it, please burst the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel and smash the notification horn. Take sight of you in the next video.